we decided to make a full-fledged business decision and come off the road. Yes, you heard me when I said it. We've come off the road. Yo, y'all already know what it is, man. It's your boy Mo 804.
And your girl, the real Connie.
You gotta pardon her at this very moment. She's a little frustrated. She can't find her Gucci glasses. To be honest with you, that's really what it's all about right now.
I remember wearing them. I remember I had them on my head. And it was daytime. And then I remember it getting dark. And was like, okay, let me put my glasses up. So I put them in a case, put them in a bag. And I remember doing that in a car. That's all I remember. And so I thought I had left them in this car.
Yeah.
And of course they weren't in here when I got home.
No. And
now I'm sending, and I don't see them downstairs.
Yeah, we can't find them.
Yeah.
I can't find my other camera battery that plugs into the wall. I can't find that.
I don't know.
So really, I'm on right now my two aftermarket batteries I bought. I had this on the truck with us. I thought I had my other battery, the one that came with the camera itself, but I can't find that either. So I don't know what the heck is going on.
I'm just wondering if it's like a bag that maybe was either packed or maybe a bag of stuff that we left that stuff is in together. Because I wouldn't have put my glasses in with anything liquid or anything like that.
I definitely hope not.
No, I wouldn't have.
I mean, I don't think you would have.
I just knew they was going to be in this car.
Yeah.
I was confident. I was so confident.
Yeah, while we were on the road for the past few weeks, you know, we thought these things were at home, so we wasn't pretty much sweating it too much. And now that we've gotten home, we can't find them. But speaking of home, this is the whole reason why we're making this video right now, is the fact that, voila, we're at home.
Again.
Riding in one of our little kick-arounds.
Hoopies.
But the real reason why we're home is we decided to make a full-fledged business decision and come off the road. Yes, you heard me when I said it. We've come off the road. Now you're probably thinking come off the road like the world mode, like what you mean you come off the road, y'all stop trucking? Okay, at least when we looking for cubes, you'll find these, you'll have these. I don't know where these come from, but
I was looking for them. I'm sorry, y'all. I was looking for them. They was in the bottom of my purse.
Well, like I said, yes, we've come off the road, man. I know people are probably wondering, what the heck you talking about, bro? You just bought a truck. Like, I know you didn't buy a doggone truck a month or so ago, and now you done gave up trucking. Like, what's the deal with that? Yes and no. Yes, we did buy a truck, and no, we're not coming off the road officially or for good. We made a decision to come off the road for the next 23 days, well 22 days now, because the day is the what? Whatever the day is. But we're gonna be off the road for the next few weeks, 2 to 3, actually about 3 weeks, a solid 3 weeks for sure. Reason being, we won't make no money. Now, when I say we won't make no money, do I mean we were literally not making no money? No. But the company that in which we work with freight, you know, we were forewarned prior that, you know, without our hazmats on the on-or-off side of the game would pretty much be a dud for us. You know, to get out here,
specialized freight.
Right, to get out here and try to work what they have available, which they're mainly hazmat and specialized freight and things along that lines, that without the hazmat, we would be very limited on what we could haul. So, like I said, we were already forewarned that, we knew that. But my thinking was, you know, if we had to get out here for a few weeks without it, financially and all of that stuff, we could maintain and do what we had to do, get it how we live.
Yeah, I was thinking some money is better than no money.
All right, and until we get our hazmats. You know, we came home some weeks ago, took the test, passed it. So, you know, we were pretty much on the countdown right now to fully receive our endorsement. The hook for us has really been the fact that the DMVs here in Virginia are so backed up and everything is on appointment base due to COVID, that our appointment was literally set for well over a month out from the time we passed our DMV tests.
They do it like 45 days out.
Well, we were told that they pushed it out that far because assuming that it would take at least 30 something to 40 days to get all the approvals and get the letters back and blah, blah, blah. I think we got ours back in 15.
Yeah, because we were still home.
Because we had already did our TWIC portion, so I think that might have sped up a lot of our fingerprinting on our hazmat.
Yeah, it did.
But by being scheduled appointment-wise through DMV here in Virginia, the DMV people pushed our dates back far enough to give us the time to get them back in adequate time.
Right.
Well, it actually was overkill for us because it pushed it back so far that we passed the tests, got our papers back to pass, shows that we passed the fingerprint portion of it. Now we're just waiting to get into a DMV office to take a new picture, I guess, or just have our licenses reissued with the hazmat endorsement on it. We can even get the receipt that we get from having that hazmat endorsement, get that sent in via email and run under that. But until we get that, we're very, very limited on what we can haul. We've even gotten our full government clearance at this point. Well, not full to the full extent of it, but we have the necessary government clearance at this point to pull government freight. Our issue is we don't have the hazmat endorsement to go along with that, which limits the loads that we can carry, because the bulk of this company's freight is hazmat or just high value or specialized freight, period, to where you need a hazmat endorsement. So it literally got to the point where we were pulling one load, 2 loads, but by the time we pay our percentage and the random costs and fixed costs and various expenses that come with running that, in my opinion, it won't really no bread for us like that.
Not to run the truck.
Right. Now, last week or so, we did get a good stack of loads on us. We probably ran a little more mileage than we should have to make that money, but nonetheless, we compiled a pretty solid week of rates and pay that made it at least worthwhile for that week. But, you know, we just finished that load up right before the holiday, Memorial Day holiday. So that was about 3 days that we were pretty much down over that weekend that we didn't run anything. And then we wait, you know, for the backside of that holiday to start getting some loads again. And what kind of took us over the edge, or at least took me over the edge, was the fact that we were in Pennsylvania and we were literally going to have to, which was one of
Oh, I thought you was getting off on the highway right there.
Nah, I want to get the video out. If I get on the highway, we're gonna shorten our trip up.
Right.
So I kind of want to get this video out while we're en route versus sitting somewhere and doing it. But yeah, man, we would have had to literally bobtail the same amount of distance that the load was paying for. So basically, we would have had to go from Pennsylvania all the way to Indiana to pick the load up, 600 and some miles, just for that load to go back to New Jersey, and possibly have to do something similar on that side of it. You know, and I hit them up like, yo, you know, is there any way the rate can be done any different? Because at that point, the actual rate itself for that load was pretty decent. I think it might have been $1,900 or something like that for 600 miles, 600 plus miles from Indiana to New Jersey. So that wouldn't have been the worst thing. But to drive 600 plus miles deadhead to make the pickup and only getting paid for the loaded miles of the 600 some miles, it took the load that was paying like $280 something a mile down to like $140 something. I'll tell you if you feel like that. So, that won't gonna work for me. Especially when I figured we would get something similar to that on the opposite end. So I'm just like, we can't do this for the next 3 weeks or so. You know what I mean? It's just not going to work for us. We've done, we've done a load prior to that. We've deadheaded from Newark, New Jersey, all the way to Chicago to make a pickup. So, it just would have been too much. Like I said, I played the fool, so to speak, one time with it. Because like I said, I was only initially trying to give a few weeks to this process. But by our DMV appointment being pushed out so far, I felt like I was just sitting there spinning in place. And just getting the truck. To me, I'm not going to try to put that type of wear and tear mileage on the truck. Like, we've literally already paid a truck note already. Like, a lot of things have been moving forward for us in the process. And yes, we were financially in a position to maintain and do what we had to do throughout. But to me, it just didn't make business sense to run my truck, put miles on my truck, being out on the road, period. Still got to take care of ourselves, feed ourselves. And whatever chances of possibilities of stuff going wrong on the road, period. Whether it's hitting a deer, a truck issue, a tire blowout, like all the things that could possibly go wrong, that a good solid load pay makes it worth the opportunity or worth the choice or the chance, I should say. I could not find that in our current circumstance. So I literally had to hit them up like, yo, man, I know y'all forewarned us about this prior, but if this is the way the loads are going to be looking for the next 3 weeks or so until we get our hazmats, I'm ready to call time out, bro. We might as well take it back to VA. We already here in Pennsylvania now. I would rather just tuck my tail and take it to the crib. You know what I mean? I know when to hold them, when to fold them. Know when to walk away, know when to run. You know what I mean? I ain't no fool. We're not going to sit there and play the fool. Now, if things were a little different, because I'm looking at the best part about it all was the fact that we're no longer paying $825 truck note every week. We don't have a gang of expenses over our head every week. We've been teaming for some years, so we've been able to put away some bread and put away nest eggs and things of that nature. So although a lot of people probably would have been forced in a way to keep the pedal to the metal and do what they had to do, luckily that wasn't our circumstance based on how we set our stuff up. You know what I mean?
It has been. I mean, we have been in a position where we kept running because we didn't want to take on that expense. We could have not run and just say, hey, we're just going to pay this money and let the truck sit, but why would we do that? Right.
So we, like I said, we kind of did that for a
while.
Eensy amount of time.
Right.
But it just got to the point now where we can see that this is getting a little ugly for one, and it's so far out. We got 3 weeks left before we can get to DMV to take our test. We've tried another DMV. We found some, I think, in Christiansburg, Virginia. I think they had an appointment as early as the 14th. But even with that just was one appointment. And we have 2 licenses that need to be squared away. So,
I'm not even there.
We kind of just had to do what we had to do with it. So we literally, like I said, had to make a decision to say, hey, man, we're not going to try to run anymore. We're going to take it in. take it back to the crib. You know, take care of some things we need to take care of there. You know, I got an eye appointment I want to get because I want to do the contact day. You know, there's a lot of things at home we need to take care of family-wise, or we could get involved with family-wise. Like there's stuff and things that we left undone.
Right.
That we can utilize the time and the overall rest in general. But my main concern for real wasn't even the fact of not making major money, because we could probably make, you know, a couple grand here, a couple grand there during the week, stuff like that to make it, I guess, somewhat worthwhile. My main issue was putting the wear and tear on our truck. You know, we ran it enough for me to feel comfortable that it can do what I needed to do. But to sit there and run it, put the wear and tear on it, and really not financially bring it back in, to me, it just wasn't worth it. And like I said, when you start talking 600-mile deadheads, right, I'm not really with that. Because like I said, some of the miles and runs that we were doing, you know, they were UPS stuff, so they was paying pretty decent, the loads themselves. But if, you know, we had to travel so far to do them, right, it kind of wasn't worth it. You know, the stack that they gave us the other week, we had a long deadhead to get to the main load in Chicago. Left Chicago down to Charlotte, but we were able to unload and reload at the same customer. Back up to Chicago, we were able to unload and reload at that same customer. Right. Down to Dallas. And then we only had maybe a couple 100-mile deadhead up in Oklahoma to make our next pickup, and that took us to Pennsylvania. So, you know, even though we had some dummy missions and deadhead in that, we had a few good dropping hooks and reloading at the same place that we didn't have to do any deadhead, and that kind of made it all worthwhile, you know. And the loads paid pretty decent, but with us not being able to have guarantees that we will be able to run like that for the next few weeks, I called a timeout, man. You know, I had to make a serious business decision. And just looking at, you know, the money we did generate prior, the money we already had, and just our living situation, period. You know, getting to the point where we only have a once a month truck note now. That's a blessing within itself. That we didn't have to worry about accumulating a weekly bill. And then, shucks, our truck note now is literally more than half of what it was when we were leasing. So, you know, it's making sense now. That's facts.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the things that was like relieving, is because I know that we were able and in position to actually do this. Mm-hmm. You know.
So that's really.
It was kind of like, oh yeah, we still.
Yeah, because when I brought it to it, when I first said, I think we about to say bump this and we going to the crib until we get our hazmat. I can look on your face, kind of like, what?
Well, because, you know, of course you make the final decisions, and sometimes when you're making decisions, I'm over here in my head trying to figure out, you know, right, if it's anything I need to add on to, or is this a really good decision? Right. And we did the math.
Yeah, because
we sat right there and did the math. We stopped and said, okay, let's do the math. We did the math, and when we thought about it, it really wasn't a good decision, you know. And there are still things that we want to get done to our truck, and you know, we don't want to burn it out, like you said, and not be bringing in a sufficient amount of income.
Right. So
better just to let it sit, let her cool.
So yeah, that's the main deal. Like I said, the truck has shown and proved that it can run like I needed to run. And if we're not going to make a consistent pay without running the truck to death, you know, like I said, to 600-mile deadhead, just to do a 600-mile loaded, that cut that load more in half. And you look at fuel, wear and tear on the truck, our time in general. No, dog, I'm not doing that. Like I said, and I agreed to do it. The company forewarned us what it would be, you know. And like I said, my thinking in general was we can do this for a few weeks and maintain until we get it. But the crux for us was the fact that our DMV appointment is so far out I mean, what I thought about doing and the expense I talked about taking on for a couple weeks, we're in the months now.
Yeah.
You know, we got that truck in April. It's now June.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, I tried it, and initially the plan itself could have worked, but when you start talking about 3 weeks to a month or so with this appointment being out and us literally can't make any real bread until we get it, nah, dog. So like I said, we literally got our endorsements. We've gotten the government portion of it, all of that. We've even passed the DMV test for the Hazmat. We just are waiting now to get to a DMV to get the endorsement on the license itself.
Which is by appointment.
Which is by appointment here in Virginia. I don't know about other states, so hopefully if any of you guys in a similar pickle as this, your state is a little different, but at this point, Virginia is still by appointment.
Right.
Now, we were able a few weeks ago to get a title done on the truck. We were able to drive to, I think it was Mineral, Virginia. They do walk-in DMV stuff there, but only titling, taxes, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, no testing.
No testing, no license related stuff. So everything is still by appointment. And like I said, we tried to do another appointment date in different places in Virginia. Tidewater, all that stuff was later. Northern Virginia was later. The Richmond area was all later. We did find that one appointment in Christiansburg, Virginia, down there near Blacksburg, off 81, Roanoke area, all of that. And they had an opening for the 14th, but it was only one opening for one person.
Right.
So we had to stick with our original plan, although it's tearing us a new butthole right now. But the bright side of it all is the fact that we're financially in a position to deal with it. Our overhead and our living expenses is minute.
Right.
You know, a lot of people couldn't do this, and we'll probably do a video on that too.
And the freedom to be able to make that call.
Yes. Like I had to put my big boy drizzles on.
Because if we had
to literally stand there and say, you know what, I'm gonna send this message in, bro, we going home. And they try to send us another load because they actually really wanted us to take that load.
Well, the one load was, I guess, they was looking at it as like a favor.
Yeah, we really need you to cover this.
You know how they do when they say do us a favor.
Yeah, we really need you to cover this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, then they started to send us another load after that. That one picked up in Pennsylvania. How ironic is that? Now you got a load that picks up in PA, but whatever. 2 stops in the Colorado area, 1 stop in Utah. But the downside to that load was that load wouldn't have technically delivered until the following pay week, to next week. So I'm literally would have been stuck with 1 load for this current week,
right,
since we're already behind with the holiday. And then this load wouldn't have technically delivered until Tuesday of next week, which that would have left me 4 or 5 days possibly to add on to the week, not knowing how that week would have went. So now you're telling me I possibly could be 1 week, 1 load for this week, and 1 load for next week, possibly 2. I don't want to take that chance. I don't want to take that gamble. I don't want to take that risk. I'm going home, bro. So that's what we did. So right now we back in Richmond, doing some hat drop-offs, because you know the Married to the Miles gear has been moving crazy. So salute to everybody who's either ordered
so much
via via website, or who've been catching us up at the crib here on the Cash App tip, or even hand-to-hand cash money. We really appreciate that, man. We just left post office not too long ago, dropping off some hats. So we still got some stuff on deck back here. You think it's a game, but it's not. And yeah, man, you know, we doing what we do. So we had to make this executive call. You know, I had to make an OG call or a CEO call. I said, I'm taking my woman, my truck, my dog, and we going home. Here. Fact. So we're out of the truck for a little bit. So yeah, man, maybe we'll do some videos on that stuff, getting yourself in position and being prepared to do what you need to do. You know, us out here running as a team, you know, we put ourselves in position on purpose to do the things we need to do for us. You know, to not be out here and be a slave to the truck or the industry in general, having to do it just to get by.
Yeah,
you know, we're in a position now where we can kind of make our own calls and do things the way we need be. So,
and you realize too that, you know, we might talk about this later, but you don't really need much when you live on a truck. I mean, really live on a truck, you start to realize, do I need that?
Right. So, I mean, and some people do. So we'll do another video on that. We just want to slide through right now and give the spiel on why we're going to be home for the next 3 weeks. And, you know, we're going to take this time off to get ourselves together, health-wise. We got some gym membership stuff that we haven't been able to take advantage of. So now we got 3 weeks to get better.
Yes.
So we'll possibly take y'all on that journey with us, too. But yeah, man, we out the truck, bro. We out. We chilling right now.
We are, and I'm hungry.
You hungry?
Yes.
Okay.
I am.
Let's get something to eat then. But y'all know what it is, man. This is Married to the Miles. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Appreciate everybody who's been rocking with us. All our new viewership. Salute to y'all too. But yeah, man, y'all know what it is. It's your boy Mo 804.
And you're the real Connie.
You still got a problem with saying that. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody say.
I don't have a problem saying it. Just don't sound like what it used to.
Yeah. But yeah, y'all know what it is, man. So we back in the V right now. 804 all day. Y'all know what it is. But we'll get at y'all, man. So be on the lookout for the next couple videos we got. We got some things we're gonna roll out. And we're gonna really kick this team trucking information videos off, man. So salute to all my other teams out there. Keep doing what y'all doing. Keep running. And we'll get back at y'all on the next one. You dig? Peace.